I just finished Shadow Labyrinth, which, if you're not familiar, is a Pac-Man Metroidvania game, and I've got to say, I like what's going on here. Now, reviews of this game at the time of writing have been mixed, and I do think some of that criticism is fair. The one gripe I think I unfortunately have to agree with is lack of variety in enemy types. The game's boss fights vary quite a bit, with a few bosses having variant versions of themselves, but by and large, each boss you fight is different and fun. However, from zone to zone, the sort of henchman-style enemies can be a little monotonous. You definitely do encounter new enemies as you progress the story, but a lot of the upper echelon enemies seem to just be tougher versions of their earlier selves. Did this bother me a ton? Not really, but it's a valid critique. The thing that irked me most was actually outside of the game, in that the Switch 2 version of Shadow Labyrinth really didn't run well at all. Hopefully it's patched by the time you're watching this. But it was to an extent that I actually deleted the Switch 2 upgrade pack and played the Switch 1 version just to have a steady frame rate. I recently upgraded my monitors to 4K for the sake of my PS5 and my Switch 2, so I could stare at all the pixels in their glory. Legitimately, one of the reasons I bought Shadow Labyrinth was because they said it ran at 4K 60 on Switch 2. Needless to say, that was not the case. With those couple things out the way, the other, more important reason I bought Shadow Labyrinth was because I deeply appreciate Bandai swinging for the fences here. They didn't play it safe, they didn't say, let's not reinvent the wheel. They said, let's reimagine Pac-Man as a Metroidvania game and see what it's hitting for. It was my first Metroidvania game in any meaningful way, and it felt fitting because it came about right at a time when I was creating/investing in my backlog, which to me felt like a slight reimagining of gaming as a hobby. Ready to try new things, I started a playthrough and I liked it a lot. To be fair, I was ready to like it a lot, because this type of game, as in a franchise reimagined, is something I think gaming needs a whole lot more of. Still, my disposition aside, this game isn't without its merit. Do I wish I could have played it in 4K? Yes. Could it have used a few more enemy types? Yes. But did Bandai give us what we've been asking for, or at least what I've been asking for? Something new? Something challenging? An interesting story? Something you could bite into that felt good to chew? I think all those answers are yes. Like anything else, Shadow Labyrinth isn't without its hiccups, but I think those are vastly outweighed by the pros. Running around, gathering materials, fighting new enemies, unlocking attacks, getting stronger, it's all par for the course, but it's refreshing because you're not simply just eating ghosts. And then, sometimes, just to feel something, you're eating a ghost. And these new ghosts hit a little different. They're really not trying to get eaten. I was happy to support this game, and I'm even more happy to have played it. I hope this game serves as a lighthouse for other developers to try new things. Is it something we've never seen before? Not exactly. But it is something we didn't expect, which often is just as good if not better. So, if you're into Metroidvanias, Pac-Man, fresh takes on old franchises, supporting developers doing something different, yada yada yada, there's way more reasons to buy this one than not, in my opinion. I wouldn't be surprised if Shadow Labyrinth becomes an important piece of Pac-Man history, and I think right now is definitely a step in the direction that the industry needs to go. I bet you'll have a good time playing it too. Thanks for watching.